It's now been over 12 hours since over 32 cities in Cuba, brave people have taken to the streets to protest against communist, Marxist, evil tyranny. And so far, not a word, not a statement from Joe Biden, from the Vice President, from the White House, not a word. What is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Why are they so uncomfortable coming forward and just condemning this evil socialist Marxist regime?
Because socialism is about control. And all of these things, tourism, food, money, medicine, it's all about control. You want humanitarian aid? Let's get Red Cross. Any of these vetted NGOs in the world should be allowed to go into Cuba. They won't allow it. A, because it's embarrassing to them. They have a world-class healthcare system. Why do they need humanitarian aid? But B, because they want to control it. Send them vaccines. But if you put it in their hands, the government, the regime, guess who gets the vaccines? The people who behave. First the regime elites, then the people who behave. If you're not behaving, if you're not going along with what they want you to do, you don't get a vaccine. They will use any opening as a tool, as a weapon against their people, because that's what socialism does. That's what these Marxists do in Cuba. They will use anything as a weapon against the people of Cuba. What can we do is what people want to know. Number one, I hope that we will all be clear about whose side we're on. You don't have to even agree with anything I've said. What you should agree with is that people everywhere in the world, including 90 miles from our shore, should be allowed to go into the street, peacefully march, call for an end to dictatorship, and not have their head cracked open. By the way, no one in Cuba has guns except the military, so why are these repressive forces walking around with these rifles and people getting shot? They're shooting people that literally are unarmed. Should be able to do that, and we should be clear. We should be clear in our language. We don't just condemn this tyranny, we condemn this communist, this Marxist, this socialist tyranny. Call it for what it is.
It's been 62 years while these people have been out there suffering. And what is it so hard about coming forward and saying, we're not going to tolerate brutality, we're not going to tolerate bloodshed, do not step forward, Cuban military, and attack and hurt your own people. If you do it, you're going to be held accountable. We're going to raise this issue at the United Nations Security Council. We're going to talk to the Europeans and any other country that's been giving the Cuban regime cover so they can see the true nature of it. And we're going to put the full force of the United States government behind these efforts for freedom. And we stand with the Cuban people. Why can't Joe Biden just say that? Why can't the White House just say that? I hope they will.
The United States stands firmly with the people of Cuba as they assert their universal rights.
I don't know why it's so hard for them to criticize Marxists. I do think, and it's pretty clear that there are people out there that aren't saying anything, and the president took a whole day to say this. He finally said something. He still left out the word Marxist and communist and socialist. What you just described, the murderous nature of the Castro regime, that's the way every Marxist regime has ever been, always.